Alright, last topic that I wanted to talk about is Stadia. As you know, I have been really up to making cloud gaming as my niche. Unfortunately, I was heavily relying on Stadia. But we got two new development. First off, I want to say about what Developer Studio has been up to with the announcement of Stadia downfall. Practically, the developer was taken by surprise on the announcement that Stadia will be no more after January 18. And I do want to really talk about what can we expect besides the Google refunding every single penny that were invested by us gamers. Okay, first off, this is an original article that I wrote for the GGS blog. Your new social network for gamers, where gaming is only thing that matters, no drama, everything else from real life can stay on the respective public social network. But this is a list of gaming studios that are stepping up for Stadia players that are making an announcement after being taken by surprise of the Google's wind down and closure of Stadia. And we're starting with Ubisoft. Ubisoft practically is giving the opportunity to all the buyers of their games. Neither of the games actually have been given as a pro. All games you have to be purchase the license and the access for the game, including all the Assassin's Creed collection, Far Cry 6, and the previous Far Cry releases, Immortal Phoenix Rising, etc. Ubisoft confirmed that they're working to have all Stadia players the opportunity to transfer all the purchases on the Ubisoft Connect to have them available in the PC version of each individual game. The particular thing about Ubisoft Plus subscriber is that they are bound to be received news soon. We still haven't heard what Ubisoft is going to be doing to Ubisoft subscriber that did use Stadia as a subscription point. Next, we got Muse Games with Ember. One of the first studios responding was Ember developers Muse Game. Now, while the game is already available on PC via Steam, Ember was a timing exclusive on Stadia and a day one launch as a Stadia Pro game. Muse announced that the Stadia users that had either claimed the game as Pro or bought it later via the Stadia store need to email them. Actually, in the description, I got the link for their official Discord. And you need to send them a pic with your Stadia account and a visible Ember landing page saying that it is either claimed or purchased to receive a reply with a Steam code giving you access to the game. Also, IO Interactive, the creators, the developer of the Hitman series, including the latest trilogy, announced that they are looking to find out how to compensate all the buyers for the Hitman 1, 2, and 3. And Hitman 1, actually, it was a Stadia Pro game. By the recording of this, they haven't still announced what they will be doing for us gamers. This one is really interesting. Guild was a exclusive Stadia game, but Tequila Wars kind of have a plan B, whatever the Stadia downfall could ever happen, and actually time proved them right, as they announced that they will be porting the Guild game to a PC version. But they haven't announced what they're going to do, if they're going to be doing like a strategy like the Muse game did, that asking players of Stadia if they own the game, then handing them Steam codes or Epic Games code, because they haven't announced where storefront they're going to be launching Guild. While Wild production were really high actually on Stadia. Actually, there was the first and the mounting evidence that Google's announcement of Stadia became out of nowhere. While not acknowledging what it can do for the future, they did announce that Martha Dead will be tried to be released on Stadia this winter, but at the time that I wrote this, I didn't added that the Stadia store was indeed closed, and apparently and reportedly, developers doesn't have much access yet, so remains to see if Martha Dead is really heading to Stadia as a Stadia Pro game by winter. Okay, we got two surprises here. I never expected Bethesda to say something about it, but this is really good news. Since the news of Stadia shutting down, Bethesda Softworks and Cinemax Online Studios have been discussing next steps for our Elder Scrolls Online Stadia players, and we appreciate your patience. We are happy to share that our Stadia players will be able to transfer their ESO account to PC, bringing them all their progress, including but not limited to existing characters, purchase items, achievement, and inventory. Since Stadia players already play ESO on our PC servers, all of their friends and guilds will be waiting for them once they complete the transfer. We will have more information how to do this soon, so please stay tuned. And finally, Bedtime Digital Games announced that Figment will be having some news for Figment players, and they are looking how to compensate Stadia users. With this, unfortunately, Outcaster became the first true collateral damage on the downfall of Stadia, and their developers, Splash Damage, confirmed that they developed the game so attached to Stadia that it's really complicated to just making a PC port, so basically Outcaster will be gone for good in January 18. But the situation is that Outcaster probably is not going to be the only game that is going to be disappearing in January 18. Red Hill Games announced that their 9 to 5, practically 5 versus 5 multiplayer shooter will be gone too by January 18. To all mercenaries, we have important news regarding the future of 9 to 5 we would like to share with you. After careful consideration and deliberation, we have made a difficult decision to end the development of 9 to 5. This means there will be no further updates or patches, and the server will remain open until January 18, 2023. We realize that many people are passionate about 9 to 5 and wish to see the game develop, grow, and succeed. However, we cannot give you regular updates, new content, and more people to play with, so our most difficult decision is also for the community. We want to be honest and respect your trust. For this moment onward, we will turn our attention away from developing our own titles and focus on working in other games developer on co-developing projects. We understand that many of you will be disappointed and have a lot of questions regarding the future of Red Hill Games, updates, and refunds. We hope that the frequently asked questions on our website will answer some of them. In the meantime, leading to the shutdown, we will naturally disable in-game purchases and make all premium skin and bundles free. We want to emphasize how grateful we are to you, our community. Our close-knit relationship and connection are very special to us. Your enthusiasm, patience, and support for our game have been overwhelming. We could not have gotten this far without you. Thank you. Sincerely, Red Hill Games. The frequently asked question actually just repeat step by step this message with the adding that their Discord channel will also be closed. So technically, Red Hill Games will be developing not for original games. There will be practically letting other people hire them as a support for any outside development, and no more original games from Red Hill Games. Actually, they haven't mentioned anything about Stadia, but what led me to think that this has to do with Stadia is the fact that you needed to activate the cross-playing functionalities. If you're either on Stadia on PC or both, you needed to activate the cross-playing functionality by logging in Stadia and logging in Steam. So if that is the fact, why Red Hill Games doesn't motivate Stadia players to just migrate to PC anyways? And again, I want to emphasize the January 18th date of the final day of the servers. So this led me to speculate that either they were depending on Stadia's success, and maybe Google was behind the scenes supporting them, and like every other developers, they're being taken by surprise on the announcement of Stadia downfall. So with a big check mark and a big disclaimer, I would like to add 9 to 5 as a second collateral damage in the downfall of Stadia. Very unfortunate.